You are now tuned in to the Breaking the Bread podcast. Positive vibes, infectious discussions, and an open conversation on various topics.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of Breaking the Bread podcast. You done already, you got it, the number one guy, me, Marky Mark. Alright, you already know. Yep. We got Brother Kamal here, right? As you know, Tommy man, new addition back again. Here we go back again, right? Man. We got JC right here, the cameraman doing the magic, everything.
Oh, hello, ones and twos.
And of course, my next brother man, Chef Louis, back in the cut. We got EJ here. The return.
Always shit comes out when you're at like the top of your. You're trying to take it down. They always. You get what I'm saying? Because when that man said that comment when he was like probably like doing stand up, whatever, like you knew Chappelle like. Cause not Chico, sorry, Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart, like look at his stand up. The man talks about hitting his kids.
He talks about his life.
He talks about knocking his done skin.
Yeah.
Pull the clip.
He talks about some
crazy shit. Can you see it? And if you want to bring it back, buddy. And okay, there's gonna come controversy. You know what I'm saying? Traditionally, certain cultures are not really accepting homosexuals.
Yeah.
Homosexuals, gays,
the LGBTQ community. Let's get
Damn,
that.
Yeah. Good.
Let's just get that.
First, LGBTQ
not trying to offend anybody, but that's what it is. The LGBTQ.
Bomb, 100. But some people, that's quick. I can't deal. It's hard sometimes to say that. I'm just like,
I hear what you're saying, but we gotta get it correct.
Yeah,
we're not trying to offend anybody.
For sure, no.
That's the correct.
Yes, I'm sorry, not to say.
And there's some other letters added now. I don't know what they are, but the LGBTQ.
Yes. Thank you. Come on, brother. Come on. Thank you,
brother. Come
on. Keep it correct. Preach, man. Keep it respectful. No disrespect.
I mean, I got my views on that. But at the end of the day, I respect that.
Yes. So okay, with that now, at that time, I don't like. It's not. Certain cultures are not accepting of certain things. You know what I'm saying? So when he said that, you know what I'm saying? Was he wrong for saying that? I'm not laughing. Was he wrong for saying that? Yeah. He kind of was wrong.
He was.
It was being respectful.
Yeah.
It was being respectful. It was funny though.
In a joke.
It was a joke.
You're gonna laugh.
Yo, I'm not gonna say something. Yo, bro, I've heard something.
There you go. You
I've heard some friends. Yo, I
didn't think of a joke. It's one of those. I was thinking. I don't know y'all are laughing. Yo, I wasn't thinking of a joke. Literally, what I was thinking about was.
I just thought it was about hitting the kid.
See, like that's what I'm thinking about.
Just to show you what I'm talking about.
I didn't think about.
Skate one, skate in your head right now. And I swear you're gonna start dying.
Dave Chappelle was saying how, like, realistically, like, you would have to buy the kid a dollhouse for the kids. Like, that's a joke, right? Like, yeah. Like,
it was rude though. It was funny.
If your kid's gay, right? You would have to buy them a dollhouse.
But you're not gonna hit your head.
Not necessarily.
Okay, now I'm on. All right, you know what? Forget it. I'm gonna hit the topic. I'm gonna hit the topic now. I'm gonna hit it. No. I'm gonna hit it now. I'm gonna say it. No. I'm gonna say it. No. I'm gonna say it. No. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. No. I'm gonna say it. What would you do if you was gay right now? Would you accept?
We're getting away from cancel culture.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Would you accept? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, restart, go.
No, yo, chill, that's a part of cancel culture.
Keep it going.
These are all different versions of cancel culture.
You know what I'm saying?
Alright.
But he didn't really get canceled, they knocked him off the Grammys. He's like,
They didn't knock him off. He freely chose to remove himself.
Well, he was on interviews for the next couple of weeks.
But he wanted to apologize again.
Yeah, but he said no. He removed himself because those are his views. And I don't blame him.
I didn't... Like, it's just to respect, like...
You have to respect the people that
I mean?
still...
Alright, so...
T, breathe. Brother, come on, hit him with a question, my man.
So yo, the topic or question for today is, do you guys feel that celebrities or people who are on major platforms are misusing their platforms or are raising the wrong issues on their platform?
Oh shoot. Yes and no. Like I find like there are some that are using their platform. Like you look at LeBron for example. Sometimes he does speak out on different like social injustice that's going on. But then sometimes there's not as much of a conversation as well too. Sometimes people like they could use their platform to speak on certain topics, but then after they scale back maybe because of like public perception or yet again like protecting their brand as well too, that you can't be fully transparent on your full views, you know what I mean?
I feel like it's very selective, right? Like it's like very organized in translation to like speaking on like what you want to speak on. I feel like there's always a demographic available towards what you believe. So I feel like in that sense, I feel you're allowed to put out whatever you feel is like right or justified, even though it could go contrary to so many people's way of life or whatever. Ignorance is kind of put more on a pedestal. It's like that 2-second blip is kind of more like it's more captivating than like the stuff that might provoke more thought or have like more of a deeper conversation, because it's like whatever people seem to think the world is, you go to a different part of the world and they have like a totally different view. So I feel like there's not a filter.
For me, I say 50-50.
He's smirking.
Because I'm not allowed. Am I not allowed? Okay,
Coming
so,
in fence.
yeah, so like I was saying, 50-50 because it's just on the person. Like I feel that everybody they have the money to do certain things, right? But it's just on the person because not everybody believes in the same ideas as us, right? Certain people believe in other things. That's why they do certain things with their platform, right? For instance, you have J. Cole, who talks about injustice and promotes that heavy within his tunes and all that, right? And then now you have the baby, who just promotes about having money, jewelry, and girls, right? And with his money, he just fronts about that. As for J. Cole, he actually gives back within the community, where he opens organizations
So
and
do
all
you
that.
feel like this is a question, do you feel like there is more of celebrities using their platform to promote goodness, or a lack
If
of?
it's like that, it's more lack of. That's what I feel. It's more lack
I feel
of.
like just a minor like touch on that. I feel like the baby is refreshing though, because it's like we haven't had lyricism in years. But back to what you were saying.
No,
The baby?
Okay,
I want to say he's the most
racist.
lyrical.
Like, yeah, like I understand what you're saying.
Trending artist.
About like
Who? You know what I'm saying? Like there's
new
some hooks and
generation,
punchlines.
basically the new generation of the industry, music industry. Yeah.
He attacks the beat like the moment the track starts. It's kind of like that.
Is he a representation of something you would say? Because he's probably a good guy.
Like I said,
probably a good guy.
It depends on the person, right?
Yeah.
He's not like a revolutionary artist.
Do you think that should be? Do you think
I mean,
people like that should be idolized in our time of society?
Like I said, it depends. It depends.
No, I'm asking you. Do you feel that those people like that should be idolized?
No.
Like in our time.
No, because okay, I understand his struggles. He made it his success and everything, right? But at the same time, it's like I don't want to hear the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Okay.
That's all you're saying in your music, and just on a different beat.
But wouldn't you say people say that about J. Cole too? That he's always talking about
He has different messages.
But the thing is with J. Cole now,
topics though.
he creates a story, and when he creates a story, it's on different topics. Yeah, he might talk about the same subject, but he also intertwines the next big problem within that problem.
But yeah,
or relevance.
But yeah,
just staying on topic, right? Like at the end of the day, we're talking about having influence.
and that leads to him because that he was the the last person to
Yeah,
kind of give his.
So, back to what I was saying, like, what was the question you had asked?
So the question was, do you feel that celebrities are either using their platforms correctly or misusing their platforms?
Okay, so time out now. Now, sorry, I don't want to come with a double, but what's using their platform? Like, are they meant to do, okay, what would you consider misusing their platform?
Okay, well, let's go with this then, right? For instance, right?
I'd say Lil Pump is the face of that. Like, you know, like taking drugs on the internet, advertising fuck shit.
Yeah, but
advertising the way of life that, like, like, Baba was a classic example. Like,
here's the thing though.
Taking a picture of Soulja Boy.
I don't mean in that sense. I mean in the sense of, for instance, like what's happening in our city right now, right? With like the whole Don Cherry thing and what he said about those people and not wearing the poppies and all of that, and also like we all know the whole Colin Kaepernick issue with. You play for the NFL, you're kneeling down, taking a knee in national anthem. I'm talking about that, where do you feel like a lot of celebrities are using the platform to bring about issues that their platform doesn't allow them to attack?
I think it's a lack of.
I think it's a lack of.
And even as well too, like for example, like
100%.
look at Akon for example. Look at Akon for example. Look at all the work that Akon does in like Africa, building up Africa, investing in Africa. We don't really hear that through the media outlets as much as like something like a Kardashian is doing or something, or like these two people are going out with each other. You know what I mean? So I think it also comes down to like what the media outlets are pushing to us and how we're even able to access. But at the same time though, some of those people that are heavy influencers, if they should be using their platform to try and change the narrative. You know, like, let's not worry about, like I remember even, like, I think last season, we were talking about Fat Boy, right? Last year, we were talking about Fat Boy going to different places, dashing cookies and getting cheese at people, things like that. Now he's coming out, he's trying to promote more positivity. He has like his brand and stuff, doing a couple other things. So now he's trying to use his platform for better. Yeah, he still has a 1-2 sketch where he does like stupid shit.
But it's more positivity that he's bringing out. He's more giving back to the community.
Yeah.
He's showing the people like, yo, instead like, yeah, you're making your money off of this, but instead of just doing stupidness, give back, cause you already know how the struggles is. You came from the struggles. Don't turn your back because you're making now money or a few change. You don't know where you came from. You can never forget where you came from.
But I feel like a lot of celebrities, in that note, to add to what you would said, I feel like a lot of celebrities forget where they came from.
And that's facts.
It's very easy to get lost in it.
I think it's probably because, you're right. I think it's probably very easy to get lost in this shit.
And like money. Remember, they're making money now, right? When they're struggling, they're struggling. They have to do certain things.
That's like they've been broke longer than they've been rich.
But do you wrong them? Say okay.
Yo, it goes 50. I don't wrong them, but at the same time, they have to know where they come from because. Yeah, I understand you broke your back.
Okay, do you believe, you know what?
I remember
you remember what he said?
Wait. I remember. I'm just saying.
What if you're
when you're broke,
right?
When you're broke, right, and you're from the struggles, you're doing certain things, so you're working hard. Now you make it into the industry. We understand you broke your back just to get where you're at, or at the level where you're at, but. It's alright to splurge, you know what I mean? I'm not saying you're not supposed to splurge on yourself, you know what I mean? You work hard, but don't make the money take over you.
Okay.
That's how I feel.
But here's the thing though, I feel like you guys are, I get where you guys are coming from, you guys are talking about celebrities giving back, right? But that's not exactly what I'm asking. What I'm asking is, do you feel like when it comes to like political issues or issues that are touching to our society today and our world, do you feel like the celebrities are using the platform to speak on those issues, or are they misusing the platform?
Okay,
So
Oh, okay, that's what I'm saying. What would be a misuse?
Okay, so like I said, right? I gave the example of Don Cherry.
Yeah, and that was, I don't really feel like.
I have a better example I think that we can already. Let's look at. Hold on. Let's look at Michael Jordan. How much time for there has been social injustice in the United States?
Michael Jordan, I heard some shit about that man.
Yeah, but here's the thing though.
I don't heard that man don't mess with brothers, fam.
Well, that's the thing.
I mean,
I feel like
I heard that man don't mess with brothers.
I feel like this is I feel like he's done a lot to prove that wrong now.
Yeah, but for me,
What has he done?
He's done a lot of charitable.
here's the thing though.
Not him per se, though.
I feel like what you guys are going at is different than what I'm asking. Like,
so what are you asking? Give us an example.
Let's go this. Let's go Colin Kaepernick. Everyone knows what's happening with Colin Kaepernick.
He uses that to bring awareness.
Taking a knee for the national anthem in the NFL. Do you feel like that was a right platform for him to use to do that?
I would say so because it allows him to reach a large amount of people and still make an impact. And not everyone's gonna be following somebody on Twitter. But everyone that's a fan of the NFL, they're all gonna sign them. Then when you see that, you're gonna be like, whoa, what's this guy kneeling? Then you hear that some people go through to do the research, try to find out more. Other people, they get upset, but it still starts off a conversation. If he didn't kneel, do you think that we would be talking as much of social justice as we are now?
We wouldn't.
I think we would.
No,
At this same level and impact though, because what Colin Kaepernick did, like a lot of other people started getting to the conversation. Other players even started into it. He started getting some support for some celebrities. Even some military people were even supporting it because he got the whole kneel idea from a guy in the military as well too, right?
Here's the thing, right? I honestly feel like we would have brought up that topic because look at Bill Russell. Bill Russell just received his Hall of Fame ring.
Yeah, for like 44
years.
So he didn't want to be the first black man.
He didn't want to be the first black man, but it's one of those like it's always been a
Because he wanted to see other black.
He wanted to see other black men get it before him. He didn't want to be like the face or whatever, right? But here's the thing. It's always social injustice has always been a problem in our society, not just in North America, but throughout the whole world. So for me, it's like it's been big in sports as well, where sports was dominated by white men, right? And then black men started coming in, like when we can talk about baseball with what's his name? Is it Jackson?
Jackie Robinson.
Jackie Robinson, right? You were Jackie Robinson going into baseball and Bill Russell coming into basketball and all that thing. Oscar Robertson and all those guys, they all changed the platform. They all changed that market. So for me, I feel like Colin Kaepernick, he misused his platform because the NFL has nothing to do with social injustice. Or if you're gonna take a knee or whatever, you don't do it during the game because the NFL has nothing to do with social injustice. At the end of the day, NFL is all about football.
But remember, he's taking it to a point where, remember, when the national anthem speak, when they play that, we're paying respect for the people who fought for the country, and also people who died for the country and died in the country, right?
And I feel like that's
at the same time, you have police officers who respect the flag, who represent the flag, who are supposed to serve and protect the freaking community, who are still killing certain people in the community. That's not right, and you don't hear that. That's why he took it to that platform. Because if he didn't take it to that platform, it would still be under the sheets. Yeah, you would hear. Hold on.
Hold on. The sheets because
yes, it is because you would hear about it, but you wouldn't hear about it. You would not hear about it as much.
You know what he did?
I'm telling you that right now. You wouldn't hear it as much.
You know what he did? You know Colin Kaepernick did? You know what he did? He brought it to. You know what Colin Kaepernick did? He brought the problem to the audience that didn't want to see the problem.
Relevancy.
You know what I'm saying? And that was a white audience. You know what I'm saying? Remember, because football is a white dominant sport. You know what I'm saying? So he brought that awareness to them. It wasn't much, the topic's always been there. It's always been there. But he brought it to, again, to the mainstream and used his, that's what you're saying, his platform to do that. You know what I'm saying? Are there more people? If there was more, is there people, so your question was, is there a lack of people using their platform misusing their platform, I would say, yeah, I think there is a few people.
But are they aware that they're doing this? And it's
Some of them don't feel.
it's like what's the boundaries of that? 'Cause it's like
That's
what do we constitute as, you know, like
Do you owe anything to
negative?
anybody? And do you only get to a
And
certain
are you
point?
responsible for that?
And
Because
yeah.
it's like,
Okay, I hear what you guys are saying, like, those are all valid questions, right? And that's why I asked that question where it's like,
And it's not attack, like, yeah.
it's not an attack, but here's the thing, right? Because it's a big thing right now where Don Cherry said what he said, and a lot of people got offended by it. Like, they don't feel like he should have got fired for what he said.
No.
Okay.
Right? Not only that, right after he came out what he said, that white lady came out and talked about all the white privileged kids who play hockey. And she feels how they're all aggressive or whatever, right?
But that's kind of true.
But for her, it's like, does she have the right to use her platform to raise that issue? Because that's not what they're paying her to do.
Well, going back to
Right?
that's
That's not in her job description.
not in her job
So if that's not in your
Like
job
you said,
description.
but like you said, back to like you said, freedom of speech, like Justin was
Yeah,
saying.
freedom of
right now,
speech, but
right?
here's the
You have
thing.
the platform to be able to speak what you want, not to say what, but you, the opinion of how you feel about certain things that are going on. If you have that platform, I feel like you should be able to use it, but not to abuse it at the same time.
for a headline.
You know what I mean?
That's true,
That's
yeah.
how I feel
Yeah.
like you should use it, but don't abuse it. Yeah, you can say whatever, but don't. But like I said, watch how you use your words.
Okay, do you
When
feel
you have that big platform, because now when you have that big platform, right now Don Cherry, look what happened to him. He's out of a job, right? There's a big controversy about this. Why? Because of the words that he chose.
But is that,
Huh?
but Colin Kaepernick was out of the job for a second. He was part of it. Wasn't he the original cancel culture?
He is out of a job.
He's still
You
out
know
of a
what I'm
job
saying?
for 3 years.
But he just got an audition this past Saturday.
Colin
Yesterday.
Kaepernick was not the first canceled player.
But we're not talking about cancel culture.
No,
right now.
but sorry, yeah,
Like,
sorry.
Right? We're talking about misuse of platform.
It's our time.
Derrick Rose, I can't breathe shirt. LeBron,
Yeah, I know.
Trayvon hoodie shirts.
Yeah.
There's always gonna be a example. I think
It's not restricted to sport.
I know that. It's not restricted to
it's everything, but I think the main thing, like, to kind of try to answer your question, like, if you're bringing awareness to a topic, I wouldn't consider that misusing your platform, because you're still, look, we're talking about these different topics today right now for the sacrifices that, like, for example, Don Cherry made. When we look at Colin Kaepernick, for example, we talk about social injustice more now because this guy took his sacrifice, his paycheck, even though he went against what his job description, and to say, you know what, I stand for this because I believe in this. I don't see how that could be viewed as like misusing your platform if you're trying to bring awareness and you're trying to spread the word in a way that you know that you have the most reach at that period of time.
I feel like personally, the what we're all trying to get at, but we really can't identify it, is something like Six Buzz, where it's like Six Buzz kind of influences what we all see happening around us in Toronto day to day, and it's like what we interact with Six Buzz, whatever.
I feel like they're misuse. They're misuse. If you want to talk about they're misuse of platform. And yeah, there is a people. Yeah.
Misuse their platform, so it's like when
It is people who misuse the platform. Yeah.
so it's like when you look at it from that perspective, we can't talk about Don Cherry specifically. That's what I'm saying.
I
It's
know.
not a good example.
I know there's other, like I said, there's other examples out there, but he's like the most notable one, right?
No, that's
Here's the thing. The reason why I use Don Cherry is because his platform is strictly hockey. There's no way he should be speaking about a political issue or
Hold on.
Let me finish. At the end of the day, his platform is to talk hockey. That's your platform. So if your company's paying you to speak hockey, they don't expect you to raise something and say something like that. So for me, it's like you're misusing your platform because your platform is to speak hockey. So speak hockey. If you want to talk about any political issue outside of that, do it on your own time. Because that's not what you're getting paid for, and that's not what you're on the air for. So don't use the platform for that. If you want to do it in a press conference, by all means do it, right? And that's literally what I was talking about. It's like, if you have a platform to do a specific job, just do your job. Don't use it to do something else. You do that on your own time.
Yeah, because
Right.
you could tell he's trying to like, he's been on the air for so long, he's able to make those controversial statements. It's like, you realistically shouldn't be making those statements. It's not really in your guidelines. But it's like, I feel like yet again, the most like active thing that we interact with is our phone. And when we look at the apps that we use on a day-to-day basis, Instagram, and it's like the cogs in the system that we kind of consider them the back burner, like we never really notice them, but they're always there. You get what I'm saying? Like, they're always there. It's what we look at most. What are the couple pages? There's always those people who draw pictures and it's photography, but then there's those pages we follow for entertainment, right? That's our entertainment. And that's what we approve as a society. And it's like, what do we as a whole, like, what do we view as entertaining? What gets us to get off? And then when you start seeing what we as a whole start gravitating towards, that's what you say is that's socially acceptable, right? So it's like, you have to look at the background, like, what you as a person follow. Like, where do you get off, and what do you define as entertainment? Because there's so much different facets for entertainment. Like, even if you look at Netflix, like, some people have, who's looked at those search,
The search for options.
and you get like there's that Chinese girl.
But coming back to what my dude was saying about people in, I guess, the standings that we look at, who may abuse their power or whatever it may be, at the same time, do they owe it to anybody? Because they're living their life.
But we've never, it's never been established.
Because again, it's not their pay grade, right?
Yeah.
So at the same time, it's like, okay, there's something going on in gun violence. Okay, I'm saying, or whatever it may be, towards black people, or whatever it may be. I'm saying, okay, I'm gonna use that. Okay, I'm saying, is it really his job to bring that up? It's not.
It's not.
You know what I'm saying? So like, could you really wrong them for not really bringing awareness to what's happening? Because like the man said, it's entertainment, and what are we looking at? It's entertainment, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes we're looking at these things to actually steer away from the ugly side of society. You know what I'm saying? And I honestly feel like sometimes when people like Carmen Cabinet, certain people shed the ugly side of society, not like Don Cherry, because that's a different situation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But some people who shed a dark side of society get shunned for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and I think honestly that's not fair. You know what I'm saying? Because it's almost like calling out injustice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like injustice should almost be called out anywhere, no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what's going on in a situation. You know what I'm saying? So, to you, to your question, coming back to saying, dude, is there again, say it to me, what was your question?
Is there misuse of platform?
If there's a misuse of platform, I would say almost not. Because they're not paid to talk about the politics and the issues that's going on outside of that script.
Yeah, so you don't feel like they're not they're
Some
misusing
of them
their platform?
I feel like they're not, because they're actually getting paid to do what they're supposed to do.
So how about,
You know what I'm saying?
Are they not making money off of their actions though? And it's like,
What are they doing outside?
That's what I'm saying. Because outside they're not saying nothing, but then they're using their platform.
Okay.
But then that's a different thing. Now that's the show one, that's the facade ones. You can't say we're trying to talk
I'll
that.
give you guys a classic example. Alex Jones. Everyone
That
here.
man's a friggin'. Don't even. Are you going there?
Everyone here knows Alex Jones, no?
No, I don't know.
You don't know Alex
Alex Jones?
No,
You never watched
Conspiracy guy?
I'm being dead honest, no.
Okay, conspiracy things.
Okay. Alex Jones, right?
Yeah.
He's been able to make money off of his platform.
Now.
Hold on. He's been able to make money off of his platform, on his website. So, up until he got banned off of Twitter, he basically lost his speakerphone. Like he had a a whole moment
What he was
in free
doing?
speech, and he got to speak his joint, and it was over with. It got
But
restricted.
nobody has. But see, with Alex Jones, I feel that for him, he's not in anybody scripted besides his own.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm saying so.
But I'm saying that's the classic example. It's like, is there not people who kind of deserve that same kind of treatment? It's like,
Of course.
we've never established a rules and regulatory like bounds of just social media and what's acceptable and what's socially.
Here's the thing.
Yo, save this comment.
Here's the thing.
Save this comment for the camera.
Yeah, it's on.
He's still using that. He's still using the platform, right? But here's the thing. When it's live and it's game time, it's all football. Post game, whatever the reporters ask you, whatever you want to bring.
It's still football, even when
it's not still
even
football.
though the reporters are asking the questions.
It's not still
after
football.
yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Because they're asking reporters. After the press conference, after a game, when they talk to the players, they don't talk about what happened in the game.
They talk about what happened in the game. But
Okay,
now,
the whole football, right?
now here's the thing. If these reporters now take it out of the context of football, it's no longer football. And these reporters do that, where they start asking stupid questions.
And they're not supposed to.
And they're not supposed to.
And it's up to the football guy.
So now if the reporters now have the ability to do that, you now say, look, there's one thing I want to say, and that's where you raise it. Because now these reporters, they don't work for the NFL, they work for their company. They work for ESPN, TNT,
But remember,
wherever
you
they work
still
for.
have the NFL people that work for them doing that too, reporting on their.
Of course.
So okay,
But
you
you
can't
don't-
say that, bro.
But you don't do it when you're about to do your job.
So, okay. So like I was saying, do you feel like if he did this without the big platform that he did it on, and he did it on his phone, do you think he would still get the same attraction, the same attention, and the same discipline from the NFL, right, for his actions? Do you believe that? Because I feel like no. He knew exactly what he was doing.
Of course,
You cannot blame him for that.
Of course he knew exactly what he was doing. But here's the thing. Of course he wouldn't get the same discipline he's getting now or the same traction, right? But I feel like he would have got the traction because you're Colin Kaepernick. You're a superstar. You're on top of your game. You just went to the Super Bowl. So it's not like you're a scrub. You have the money behind you. You have the endorsements. So what you do now is behind closed doors, you go to these people and you say, yo, there's social injustice that's happening. What can we do to make a difference?
But how, you don't know.
Here's it's the same thing with local communities. There's local people who go around in the communities trying to make a difference. They may not do it on a large scale because they don't have the following behind them or the power behind them. But now, someone in Kaepernick's position, you have that power behind you. You network with other people within your industry. He's a football player, so you get other athletes who you're cool with, and then you go into other sports because, like these athletes say, it's a family. Look what LeBron's doing with the shop, right? He's bringing in rappers. He's bringing in other athletes from other sports to talk. So with LeBron using his platform that way, now they're all talking about it. Right, Cap could have went about it that way, like, yo, let's come together, we all feel the same way about this, we have the power behind us, we have the money behind us, we have the people behind us, we know the people, so let's create a group now to raise awareness for whatever social injustice it is, or whatever cause it is that we want to go after. So he didn't have to use his platform to raise the issue for that, because he would have still got the same traction.
I don't think
But
we
on the
got
platform where they talked about certain issues and it worked out in their favor, that they started working into that issue.
Look at MLK, bro. Look at Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X.
No, I'm talking about platform. I'm talking about the
Malcolm X and Luther were two different ones. Two different movements.
You're talking about
They were two different movements, but here's the thing, right? They were in the proper platform. They had the proper.
Because you said they had the proper platform.
Malcolm X, I mean,
Wait,
Martin
no,
Luther
you're saying
King was
that-
a pastor.
Wait, but that's okay.
Right,
Only being a pastor is
He
a
was-
corporate platform.
No, he wasn't just a pastor. I'm speaking about his job description, right? He was
Yeah.
a pastor, then he was what? An activist.
You're saying just because Colin Kaepernick is a football guy, he should stick to football?
I'm not saying he shouldn't just stick to football. What I'm
Okay.
saying is he shouldn't use football as his way to raise awareness for injustice. What you do now as a football player,
But why
and
not
having,
though?
huh?
But why not though?
Because football is football. The NFL has nothing to do with injustice.
Yo, so let me ask
It's
you.
not like the NFL. It's not like the NFL is blackballing black people from being in the league or
So
any
time
race
out.
from being in the league.
So time out now. You wouldn't say, because again, I don't want to talk on this because this is again, I'm just going off of, I'm
Yeah.
gonna play the advocate on the other side.
I hear you.
You wouldn't say that the NFL per se is not kind of raised in a certain type of way where it is kind of blackballing?
I wouldn't
You
necessarily.
wouldn't say like.
I wouldn't necessarily say that because when the NFL first started off, right? Like it's like this with NHL, NBA, whatever.
Don't they refer
They-
to NFL as being like almost like modern day slavery?
They do. They do.
And I don't know. I don't want to talk.
But here's-
because I'm just articles
If you look at it, if you look at it at that perspective, yes, because you have to break it down why people say that.
I can look at a regular job as modern day slavery. I'm the boss, y'all are slaving for me. You can look at anything like modern day slavery, right? At the end of the day, these NFL owners, you can look at it as slavery because these players are playing for these owners. But at the end of the day, these owners are paying these players what they're worth. It's not like that in the NFL, we know that, right? These NFL players, for what they go through, they don't make the money they deserve to make. But I feel like that's all based on the NFL just running a bad business compared to the NBA and how they run their business, right? But to say that the NFL is run kind of like a slave, with a slavery mentality, I kind of disagree with that. Because it's like these players have the freedom to do what they do. Look at Antonio Brown. He worked his way out of Pittsburgh to get paid. He got paid, and then he threw it away. So it's not like these owners were like, nah, we're not gonna pay you. We're gonna give you that cap treatment, like get out of the league or whatever.
But thank you. You can't say that because Cap did say what he wanted to say, and look what happened to him. He's getting punished. He doesn't have a job with the NFL.
Here's the thing,
Okay?
He got a second chance on Saturday.
So
But look how long it took him to get that second chance. Vice versa, if
Because
anybody else, let's say, hold on, let's say, vice versa, let's say if LeBron James did something like that, do you think he would get punished the same way as Kaepernick? And do you think he'll be out of a job trying to get his job back?
Of
Do you
course.
think? Yeah.
I mean, it would all have to be based on what he did, right? So the only thing I have from the NBA to compare to that is really the Malice in the Palace with Ron Artest. The NBA wasn't trying to promote no fighting in their league. So what did they do? They split the team up. They said, Ron, you go your way. They kept Jermaine O'Neal here, right? They put a cap on that right away, like, nah, that ain't happening. At the end of the day, you have to, it's a business, and the business has to protect the business. It's what's in the best interest of the business. So the NFL had to remove Kaepernick from their brand, because the NFL is saying the NFL is not a brand that talks about injustice, because we do not perform.
You don't support, they don't support
No, it's not that they don't support it, but the NFL is all about, the platform is to promote football and give people an entertainment and allow people to see
away from
the people
also
who they want to see.
patriotism as well too.
Right. So
patriotism.
But that ties into why he used that
football,
platform.
I know why he used that platform at that time, but that's the reason why the NFL had to remove Kaepernick, because the NFL didn't want to be associated with patriotism
Okay, so the better question
or any of that.
So the better question is, do you guys believe that people in higher positions should use their positions to talk about more awareness to politics and stuff like that, or to stick to the script and entertain the people.
I feel like it is what it's worth, because it's like the odds of something like that happening. Football's not a platform where they allow you to do something like that, and it's like the fact that Colin Kaepernick did it is like, it's a testament to, you know, that culture. There's no tradition of that actually happening, so it's like against the norm. It's never happened. You made something the topic of conversation, which makes you the odd guy out. So I feel like he has brought the conversation about this has happened prior to that. Michael Vick, there's other people who have had that phasing out of just, you know, difference in lifestyle, difference in.
Michael Vick was different than this.
Well, it's totally different.
Stay in the context. Michael Vick was a different situation.
Ray Rice.
Yeah, well, Ray Rice was even like a different one.
Like this guy is this is a total, we can't even.
Adrian Peterson.
But that's how the fact of what Kamal was saying, that why the NFL really isn't the platform for that, because like
Okay, time out now. See? It wasn't a platform for that, right?
Right.
But look what it did to Michael Vick. You know what? Michael Vick is actually an example. Because Michael Vick did that in his outside life. That was nothing to do with football.
And it still got
You know what I'm saying? It had nothing to do with football. But because they didn't want their brand associated with dog, so okay then. So it wasn't okay, so wait now. So you're gonna pick, okay, so wait. Wait now.
I get what you're saying.
Now we're picking and choosing
We're not picking
what
and
we're
choosing.
standing for, what we're not standing for.
They're not.
So we stand for, okay, so but now, look, we stand for, it's not a brand, so now, look, if we put it in that context, right?
Because I don't think the NFL was picking or choosing.
But they did though.
Yeah, they did.
They actually did though. If you look at that right now, if you put it in the retrospect and put it in that in context, they actually did. They picked, you know what, we do not choose to stand behind anybody who messes up and humiliates pit bulls and dogs, but we will not stand behind anybody who's going to stand up for social injustice.
But here's the thing.
That's what they just
But
did.
here's the thing.
Two opposites.
The NFL didn't let the Michael Vick issue go unnoticed. What did they do? They suspended him.
That's what I'm talking about. But he didn't use
There's no way that they could have,
but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Again, every situation
I'll
has
answer
to
your
be.
question, but
Okay,
that's
go.
what I'm saying is come back to your question because you're talking about using their platform, right? Look, Michael Vick didn't use his platform, right, to promote dog hunting or whatever the hell it may be.
Dog
You know what I'm saying? He did that on his own time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the NFL chose, when this was found, not to stand by him, even though it was his own personal time. You know what I'm saying? Basically, if you're saying, you're just saying they don't stand by anybody who's gonna hit or destroy dogs. You know what I'm saying? Even though he did that in his own time, he didn't use the NFL platform.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? But for Colin Kaepernick, who used the NFL platform, you know what I'm saying?
In a good way.
In a good way, not in a negative way,
Yeah.
to bring something that is happening to him in America, whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? He got penalized for that. So basically, at that point, I would say, wouldn't you say that the NFL basically said, you know what?
We don't
Hitting,
support.
killing black people, or not even just black people, in this discrimination towards another color, you know what I'm saying, for whatever race may be, you know what I'm saying, is okay, because we don't really want to talk about that. But you know what? Don't beat your dog, because we'll come after you.
And you get punished for that.
And you get punished for that.
But here's the thing, right? The NFL didn't do that. Where every issue that arose, whether it was Adrian Peterson, Ray Rice, or Michael Vick or Colin Kaepernick,
Yeah.
all of these players had some type of penalty
100%.
that followed.
But I'm saying,
Right? So that's the NFL saying that we don't support what these players did, so we're gonna put a penalty behind it. So it's not like they said, yo, Michael Vick, whatever. There was a penalty that came. They all
why
sat down.
was there? But that's what I'm trying to say. Why was there a penalty for Michael Vick if I did not use my NFL platform to promote?
Because
me being a dog.
like I mentioned earlier, right? The NFL is a business and they gotta protect their business. And we all know the trends where people love their animals, right?
Okay,
People
so
are
then-
pro-life. So for the NFL now, it's like, yo, our fans may be out there who are animal lovers and don't condone that.
But see now,
so now
you're saying, this comes back to
it's
why
a double standard.
This comes back to why Colin Kaepernick used this platform.
Okay, yeah.
To bring a voice to that people, because you know what I'm saying. The people who are watching that may be dog lovers, but not other color lovers.
I hear you. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So do you agree with that? Yeah.
So
there's no right or wrong to this. There's no right or wrong.
Right or wrong. But I'm just saying it's unfair. It's because when it comes, because I'm just trying to, because honestly I don't, again, sports is like whatever.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm not really, you know what I'm saying, but we're talking about the whole Colin Kaepernick situation and people misusing their platform. When I say Colin Kaepernick misused his platform, not really.
Okay.
You know what? You're right. You're right. It's a double-edged sword at the same time. Because what's misusing your platform? That's why I think I got confused at.
Yeah.
What's misusing your platform?
So basically, what he said is like
What is misusing your platform?
He's a football player. He's a football player. So what he does is you go game time, pay your respect.
Yeah.
Game time, play football. After football, answer 2 questions. Go home.
But would you say what Colin Kaepernick did isn't good awareness or something? Would you say that's a bad misuse of his platform?
But what he's saying is that he should just stick to that routine and not even bring it up.
I understand that. Stick to the script. Business is business.
Remember, like you said, freedom of speech, right?
Freedom of speech. But here's the thing, right? You gotta remember, whatever platform you have, or like, let's put it this way. At the end of the day, Colin Kaepernick is an employee of the NFL.
Okay.
We're all employees for whoever we work for.
100%.
Right.
That's our work platform.
Employee for TG, Move Magazine, own my own shit, own my own
Right.
place,
So,
my damn stuff.
We're all employees in that platform. Within that platform, we don't have the freedom to do whatever it is that we want, because that's not what we're getting paid to do in that platform. Now, outside of our jobs, we have our personal life. Now, we can go out, and in our personal lives, we have our own platform.
But I think the thing with that though is that like you won't have the same amount of reach, because like you're just going back to your point about like LeBron and the shop, right?
Yeah.
Like let's be real. How much like politicians, a whole bunch of other people, anyone could be a fan of football, watch football games. How much politicians and like high prominent, I guess, like Caucasian people you think are going to be sitting down watching the show? They may not watch that, but then while they're watching that football game and Colin Kaepernick does something controversial, then now they're just like, whoa,
So
what is social injustice?
here's
It's a matter, I think mind you, yes, you are under contract, you're supposed to go in, you do your job, that's that protect the brand, for sure. That's what you signed up for. You wanted the money, you signed up, you relinquish some of that. But for someone to go beyond measures to break that code, to misuse like what their contract says that they're supposed to bring awareness to, I wouldn't really consider that
Well,
as
you know what's so
confusing,
funny?
because they're bringing that awareness and they're reaching more people. Although yes, albeit it's controversial, but it still gets to the masses in a larger, more impactful way than if like he has a personal show and only like his diehard fans and people that kind of support him are going to watch that, in comparison to people around the world that are tuning in to watch one of these games.
Here's the thing, right? His platform took him to a level where he has access to politicians and activists and people who actually organize these events. Like I said, his platform has gifted him the funds to now take it from him being in a small, like the shop or whatever, right? Look at how many followers LeBron has, right? So you take LeBron with his followers, plus add him with whoever else he can partner with, now their followers are all in tune. So if Kaepernick did that, or whoever it is, where you get other people to join the cause, like how we do it in our communities, right? You get people to support you, that's the way you do it. So his platform put him to a level where he's of importance now. So now you're meeting people who are of importance within that community. All you gotta do is just connect with them to push it. So I feel like he went about doing it wrong.
With the bigger picture of what you're saying, I'd like to tie this back into our initial point, which is cancel culture.
I was gonna get to that.
Because
right?
it's like,
Before you go there, let's just ask the question. Do you feel that once these people start using their platforms or
But
misusing their platforms?
What's a misuse?
It could be
because
defined by
Colin Kaepernick,
anyone.
A misuse to me, a misuse of your platform to me is using your platform to do something other than what that platform was designed for.
Okay,
So
that's a misuse.
misuse of a platform.
And
Is using it
a
to
lot
do
of people
something. Is using it to
A
do
lot of
something
people
that that platform was not designed to do.
A lot of
So
people do.
with that in mind, do you feel that once someone uses that platform to do something it wasn't designed to do you feel like the world is quickly to shut it down or cancel it?
Yup.
So what
Not
EJ
all
was
the
talking
time.
about.
I feel like we have great examples.
Cancel culture.
Depending who you are.
So from summing from like summarizing some of the better points, taking it all back to the initial like overhead, which is cancel culture. Everything that we mentioned all ties back into the same thing, because these two, the question that you asked and the overhead that we put on it with cancel culture, they both are hand in hand. It's like whoever misuses their platform, well, if they, like most of the time, if they have, they've been like made familiar with what cancel culture is. There's a shared reality of people saying like, okay, we're shutting that shit down. So it's like,
I think like
Colin Kaepernick, like, whatever we talk about, it's like that question ties into so many other things. Is like, are these people qualified to talk about what they're talking about?
So what about six?
And are they represent?
Yeah,
Six months.
let's just go back for 1 second. Let's go back for 1 second. My bad to cut you off though.
But they are celebrities, they're not celebrities.
They're not celebrities, but they have
But they
reach
have-
though.
but
They
they
have like I think like what
Yeah,
like
they're
1 million
misuse
followers
of
or
their
something like that.
platform.
When it
That's
came
the
to the
most classic,
election,
I feel like.
hold on though. When it came to the election, I don't know if y'all noticed it, but Six Bucks was pushing a lot of shit about NDP. And you know that now, okay, like our voter age and stuff like that, it's a little younger than other places, so they were trying to influence like that younger generation that has that ability to vote.
To counteract that though, Toronto voted all liberal.
They did vote all
Every
liberal
single
because after when some of the stats started coming out, and even Six Bucks would like certain polls,
The thing
then
with
they
that
would
is-
realize that hey, maybe NDP isn't really like what we need.
I don't feel like Six
You know
Bucks
what I
is
mean?
that big to have that much influence on NDP. You know, right now, what Canada's going through is the West really doesn't want to be a part of Canada right now.
Yeah, well,
Because they want more pipelines.
Yeah, but
What they want is to have, because if they had it their way, their economy would be more booming right
Well,
now.
Yeah,
West
but
is
here's
usually
just to stay on topic, right?
Yeah.
My question is, you guys mentioned Six Buzz. What is Six Buzz platform? Because I don't really follow Six Buzz like that.
Okay,
so
Six Buzz
we really have to understand what is their platform really used for.
Entertainment. I said entertainment. I'm bringing
It's a shared
awareness
reality.
to Toronto.
It's a shared reality of Toronto. Like,
So
okay,
if-
just because you don't follow it doesn't mean people in the city don't follow
I know.
it.
I'm just saying I don't really follow it like that. So for me, I don't really understand how they're misusing their platform. Because if their platform is shared entertainment,
I'll give you the
entertainment is anything.
Well, if they're an entertainer, and if Colin Kaepernick is a sports player, necessarily an entertainer as well too, how is Six Plus not misusing their platform if they talk about the NDP, and why is Colin Kaepernick someone that is misusing his platform to talk about
But
social
here's
justice?
the thing. Anything can be entertainment.
Come on.
So it's not entertainment.
The shit people do to get onto Six Buzz is ridiculous. The issue is not with the NDP thing. The issue with Six Buzz stems from what people do to get onto Six Buzz. There's a lot of crazy shit. How many people have seen
So
crazy
it's clout
shit?
chasing. So
Clout chasing.
So
Back to what we talked about last week.
So what you're saying is that Six Buzz has created a platform for people to clout chase.
For fuckery.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, right? I literally just told you what their platform is. You said their platform is entertainment, shared entertainment, and they
No, but I
created a platform.
What was I saying to you earlier? What do we define as entertainment?
Yeah, and that
I've already.
yeah, for everyone that's different. So for you guys to say that Six Buzz,
But that's what we as a society view.
I'm just trying to play the devil's advocate. Cause like I said, I don't follow Six Buzz like that. And you guys are saying that actually what their platform is used for. You guys said shared entertainment.
Right.
And for some people, shared entertainment is clout chasing. They want to see the stupidity that our society partakes in, because that kind of makes them feel better. Like, oh yo, here's someone out there who's doing something stupider than I am.
But this is what the influence of what 6 Plus does, is that there's like a few other pages, who knows, maybe even like more than that are trying to do the same thing like 6 Plus. There's other pages that are also promoting that same type of fuckery and shit like that. And we're not, now it's breeding, I guess, a new type of culture of, hey, you want to be famous, you want to have internet fame, clout chasing.
But you know what's funny? I don't really think 6 Plus is the beginning of all that.
Yeah,
no, for sure, they're not.
They're
not. It's been happening from time. TMZ, for example.
I think society as a whole has always wanted that escape. People don't really want to look at the ugly side of shit.
They don't.
Yo, life is sometimes, I think life's really ugly. Well, it can be beautiful. Life is beautiful sometimes.
It's 50-50.
It's 50,000. It can be how you want it, bro.
Because in life, you cannot have pure positivity or
No,
pure
it is 50-50.
negativity.
But when it comes to the whole entertainment thing, people are not coming. People are, honestly, that's why the whole problem was, I think, misuse, because people are not coming, because they already have to deal with that outside. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not coming to watch football to hear about.
But not everybody goes through that. You can't say everybody hears about that in everyday life.
The news, bro. That's what.
Not everybody listens to the news.
Yeah, but that's what the
Not
news.
everybody picks up a newspaper.
I get
Not
it.
everybody listens to the radio. Some people just don't do that.
I get that.
You can't say.
But here's the thing.
Go through it every day.
That's what the news platform is created
on
for.
there. Pretty much.
Okay, but on the news now, right? Okay. That's the news platform, right? So on the news, they talk about the news, but what else do they talk about on the news platform? They talk about the weather, they talk about the sports, they talk about entertainment.
That's what they're.
Hold on, they talk about entertainment,
Yeah, but
and then they talk about, what else?
But you see, you're
Other stuff.
missing the point though. The news platform is created to keep us updated on what's happening in the weather, sports, entertainment, and our communities. That's what that platform is created for. So for you to bring up the news and say that and use it as an example to counteract Colin Kaepernick, whatever, I don't feel like it's a good way for you to go, because that's what the news is created for. It's called news. It's worldwide. Where it's a platform to keep us updated on what's happening in different areas of life.
Okay, so.
Like, to be honest, I don't watch the news. I find the news is depressing.
Okay, so do people in, let's say, Sri Lanka get to watch football? Do they have that platform to watch the NBA?
Now they do.
It's not.
I think now they do.
With the internet, yeah.
They don't care to watch football.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, they
that's
don't
not
care.
the thing.
I don't know if they care to watch football, but
certain places around the world aren't fortunate to be able to watch that. But because Kaepernick did what he did, that's how it blew up, where everybody was able to hear about what he did. Like I was saying, if he did it on his own, if he did it on his own, I'm telling you right now, we wouldn't be talking about this. It wouldn't be as big. Yeah, you would hear about it, but it wouldn't be as big.
But is it a misuse of the
I'm telling you that right now.
I don't think so, because
I'm telling you that right now.
here's the thing. How did Black Lives Matter get as big as it did? It wasn't an athlete who started that.
It doesn't always have to be an athlete. It just takes one person
It was Trayvon Martin.
to go and make that impact.
It was
Right.
Trayvon, and what happened? It ended up on CNN, and they got as big as it did. And other people followed suit. So it's not like it was on a elevated
But see,
platform.
the whole thing that came from that, the whole thing that came from that, it was, is it gonna take another black life dying for us to understand what the fuck is going on?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why, before another death happens, or whatever happens,
people
let's
talk
take it
about-
up. Let's talk about. So that's what Colin Kaepernick did that.
But people need to identify what's even going on. Like, what's your guys' root issue? Like, what justifies Colin Kaepernick's actions? And it's
wrong.
It's like people don't even know what they have a problem with in society. Like we all right now are in the same room, but we could justify Colin Kaepernick's reasons.
You see the whole thing. Okay, this is what you see what? Colin Kaepernick is wrong because it's not his job description but he's not wrong because he's bringing light to an
that's
Nah, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Dude, like,
the majority of the athletes do come from unfortunate income.
Based on contract, he's
But
wrong.
that's what I'm trying to say. If you're going by the books, he's wrong.
Based on
They
contract,
don't pay you
yeah.
to talk about what's happening in
But
your
at the
personal
same
life.
time, you have the freedom of speech.
Not on my pay call, not on my clock.
But as we all said,
Yo, tell that to your boss.
Okay.
Yo, tell that to your boss you're
and
tired.
guess what?
Go to work and tell me your boss you're retired before.
Fire me, right? Fire me.
I don't care. I'm public.
But
You know
at the end of
what?
the day, I'm still speaking what I believe. I'm still putting it out there. So you can fire me all you want, but it's still getting out there, right? And that's how people are gonna hear what's going on,
100%.
right? So it doesn't matter if you fire me or not. I have the right to speak what I want to
So,
speak.
but it's
about.
not okay. Yeah, but
To an
you're wrong.
extent,
But you're
to
not.
an
So
extent.
that's not wrong though.
To an
You're not.
extent.
See, now you're voicing your.
You understand? But and it's like you can't say what you want to say, and we all agree on that.
Yeah.
Because you're on that platform. So whatever you say might get misinterpreted, and they might misuse your words, where there could be actions and consequences for your words, what you say, true or not.
That's true, but here's the thing, right? They didn't twist Colin Kaepernick's words. That's literally what he said. But speaking on
They penalized them.
they penalized him
For saying what he
for doing what he
believes in and what's going on.
Let's go.
So why
with
is he
this now.
getting penalized for what he believes in?
Because
you're on my
he's
clock.
still, he's still doing his job. He still played the game, right?
He still played the game, but like I said, right?
Okay,
He was
so
on the NFL's clock. But okay, let's use this example. For instance, let's go with Kevin Hart and what he said about his son, right? When he said that if my son was ever to join the LGBTQ community, I would smash him with a dollhouse or whatever he said, right? And then when Kevin Hart was supposed to go host what, the Oscars?
Yeah,
Or
there was
the
an
Emmys
Oscar
or whatever.
or Grammys or
Or the Grammys, whatever. He's supposed to be a host, right? The Grammys now said, we're not gonna allow you to host that. Apologize for what you said, or else you wouldn't be able to host. So Kevin Hart, he didn't get penalized in a way. He just removed himself from it because he's like, I'm not gonna apologize for what I said. So how do you now explain that?
but it's still a big issue, right?
It's still a big issue, right? But
The problem is still there.
But here's the thing. You're saying that the media twisted his words, but they didn't twist Kevin Hart's words. And you're saying that Cap got penalized, but Kevin Hart didn't get penalized. He just decided to remove himself.
I think he did that to protect his brand, because
Well,
even in that
He did that to protect his brand?
Yeah.
even
No, he's living
in
his
that
truth.
industry as
He's
well
living his
too.
truth. No, he's living his truth. Kevin Hart's living his truth. He's not living like
You said either you apologize to what you say, or we can't have you on the show. So technically, he was being penalized. He had a choice, but he did his own thing and said, you know what, I'm not gonna do what you say. I'm just gonna remove myself. So there's no problems. So like you said, he didn't get penalized, but there was still a penalized situation in that situation.
Yeah.
So you can't say he never got penalized, like, you know what I mean? He just took himself out of that situation, so he doesn't get penalized. And it's not blown up, it's not out there that he got penalized.
So
True or
let me-
not?
So let me ask you guys something then. I want to hear your view on this then. So, if an NFL team takes a risk on Colin Kaepernick, do you think that we're going to be hearing more about social injustice
No.
through the NFL then?
No.
Yup, I feel so.
But then, we've seen what happened to Colin the first time though.
He's been loyal to the cause. He's been loyal
But let's
to
see
the
this
cause.
though.
It's not gonna
Why
be
would
loaded.
he?
We have to remember, if they already went to court for all of this too. He got paid an undisclosed amount of money. Now, Jay-Z now like part owner, I think, for a team or something like that.
No,
He got this practice now for the NFL.
Jay-Z has a partnership with the NFL.
Yeah.
Partnership with the
So
NFL.
he's involved.
And the one thing that we didn't even touch on, even with Colin Kaepernick's practice, is that he wanted his own video crew and film crew to come through to record it, so then there's transparency. But the NFL, they didn't really want that. So that's why he had to change the venue. So before they were saying like 20 some odd teams were going to go do it. Only 8 teams went, because he went to a high school to then have people showcase his talent. So do you really think that we're going to hear even more about this social justice?
No.
Because if he goes back into the NFL, he already been through the ringer. He already lost his job 3 years. There's a whole bunch of quarterbacks that are worse than this guy. But this guy, he can't say nothing really now with that platform in an NFL game, in an NFL situation.
So then what was the cause of doing all that?
He made a sacrifice.
Okay.
He made a sacrifice, but now he wants that life back.
What's the whole point? To get your job back or what? So you're basically saying that whole thing was a joke.
You saying
That's how I feel.
He's not
That's how I
saying he's a
feel.
sellout. I'm saying he's a sellout.
Yeah, no, that's how I feel.
He's saying he's a sellout.
If he
He can't be a sellout. He's not a sellout for that.
Let me
It's like, yo, it's like you talking about
He got paid by Nike. He went back. Remember, Nike made a whole campaign about this whole thing.
What if he went back?
They monetized
and knelt
off
during
one at a time.
What if he knelt during the national anthem again?
He's done.
He's done. He's done.
No point in doing that.
Is there any liberation in what he did?
He doesn't have to do the whole kneeling, but he's able to still talk about certain situations that are still happening with the platform. I believe so. He doesn't have to kneel. We all got past the kneeling.
He doesn't have to.
We all got past that kneeling.
This is where I disagree with you with that. Seeing what Nealon did to him the first time, and him knowing that he's probably better than 60% of the quarterbacks in the NFL right now. We all know he's probably more talented and better than them. And knowing that he has the opportunity to play at a high level still and get in a second opportunity, I don't feel like he would continue speaking on that issue, because now these teams are taking a risk on you. And they're saying, look, what you did the first time was a distraction. We're bringing you in to be an asset to our team. We don't need no distractions. At the end of the day, our goal is to win football games and try and achieve the Lombardi Trophy. So for them, they're going to lay that out. Whatever team goes after them, they're going to lay that out on the table. None of that. If you want to do that outside of football in your off season, do it. Because guess what? He already created the traction that he needed and the platform to do it.
Yeah, true.
So now he doesn't need to do it through the NFL anymore. Because guess what? The moment a team signs Colin Kaepernick, it's all over the news platforms, CNN, everywhere. They're going to be like, yo, you remember that guy that knelt during the national anthem for social injustice? Guess what? He just got a second chance.
So back to what you're saying. Was he wrong for doing what he did?
Nah, I don't think so.
He was not wrong,
Because it gave him that traction to where all of his foundations are now. Like, he was still doing his thing, right? But sometimes you do need a little bit of that controversy to really get to where you need to get to sometimes. Sometimes you need to do things a little unorthodox to make a statement. Like I'm not saying that these two are similar, but just as an example, let's say, for example, if Rosa Parks just abided by what they were telling her on the bus. You know what I mean? She needed to stand her ground to make an impact, to change society and change a certain way of how things were done. You know, sometimes we have to make those sacrifices to make a statement, and that's what Colin Kaepernick did. So, by contract, he misused his platform. But as a person, as a human being, to bring awareness to the world, I don't think that he misused his platform. And it's kind of unfortunate that it had to play out the way it did as well, because although, when he first gets signed, you're right, it's going to be a big headline, Colin Kaepernick signed. But he may still have, he has to watch what he says now. Even when he was talking outside of the end, he was spitting fast. 32 teams were waiting to talk to Goodell. Team, stop being afraid. You guys know I can play. You guys know that I have the talent. We're seeing all the stuff that Lamar Jackson is doing, running around the field, spin moves, Drew commands like it's Madden and shit like that. You know what I mean? Colin was doing that too at a point. You know, he was one of those guys that was one of those. Well, I know Lamar's not a scramble quarterback, but he was one of those guys that he'll get out of the pocket, he'll run a few yards, he'll take those risks, and he can still have an arm that can throw it down.
Yeah, but I mean, to answer the question, right? Like you said, do I feel like he was wrong for what he did? Mm-hmm. He wasn't wrong for what he did. He had every right to stand up for social injustice. the way I see it is, it was the wrong place at the wrong time.
Then you see, then your
He was
question,
right. He was right for what he did. It was just the wrong place, at the wrong
then your
time.
question comes into, we have to define what misusing your platform is.
And like I said, I gave my definition, right? It's using that platform for something other than what it was created for.
Yeah.
And based on what my definition is, and I put Colin Kaepernick in that, using your platform for something other than what it was designed for, he did that. He misused it. Because the NFL was not a platform designed for you to stand up for social injustice. It's a platform for you to come in and showcase to the world that you're one of the best NFL players in the world. Because there's only like, what, 2,000 players in the league, whatever? Something like that?
Yeah.
Right? So he had the ability, the NFL created a platform where it's like, yo, you're one of the 2,000 players who are fortunate enough to play in a league that millions of people want to be in, right? Because we know football is a big thing in the States. So for him now, I feel like he misused the platform. But he was not wrong for what he did. I mean, to be honest, like it was a good talk, you know, getting to see what everyone's views are on celebrities either using or misusing their platform for something other than what it is that it was designed for.
But then we see, but I feel like there's still almost a misunderstanding, because are celebrities really misusing their platform? And what is a misuse of their platform?
Yeah, I mean,
Like you said, I think we said it was in their pay grade. Like,
Yeah.
not their pay grade, whatever in your script. So if you're not doing whatever's not in your script, it's a misuse.
yeah, that's true.
Right?
Right, and
So
I mean,
can-
that's the thing with this question, right? It's a loaded question,
Yeah.
and it's an open-ended question.
At the same time, it's
And-
kind of messed up.
Y'all heard our views and our takes on it, right? Like, as you guys know, I define it as using the platform for something other than what it is that it was created for.
Yeah.
So if you guys we want to hear from you guys, share your thoughts, your views, just comment, leave a comment below, hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, follow us on YouTube at Breaking the Bread Podcast, and just let us know what you guys think, and we'll see you guys next week.
You
And
know, man.
signing out, it's your boy, Kamal.
Marky Mark.
EJ.
JC.
And it's your boy T, Beyond